Winter Service Call, a Nocturnal Neanderthal original, narration script. I always thought the sirens were the scariest part of a storm. Turns out it's worse when they're quiet. It's after 10 on a Tuesday when dispatch calls me. I'm in the county yard south of Fargo, half asleep in a plastic chair, watching the snow blow sideways under a security light. The coffee in my hand's gone lukewarm and bitter enough to bite back. The radio crackles, snaps, and then Jamie's voice comes through. She's new, only been on nights a few months. Still sounds like she believes people are basically good. Service 3, you on? I thumb the mic. Yeah, still here. What's up? We've got reports of weird activity on Tower A17, I snort. That the one by the old rail crossing? Affirmative. Comms picked up something on the weather band. Might be a fault. You're closest. What kind of something? She hesitates. Paper shuffles on her end. I can picture her spinning in that old office chair chewing on a pen lid. Unofficially, she says. Someone says it sounded like a voice. A voice, I repeat, in the siren. Probably crosstalk. You know how these storms get. I just need you to check the panel, make sure it's not cycling something it shouldn't. Highway's getting the plows in position. They don't want false alarms. I look out at the yard. The snow is coming in sheets now, drifting against the chain link. The wind has gone from annoying to personal. Roads are crap, I say. You really need it tonight? The complaint came from up top, Evan. They're listening to feeds. If A17 is acting up, it's on your list whether it's now or 3 a.m. A softer pause. I marked it priority. You go there, then home. Promise. I sigh, set the coffee down, grab my thermos and parka. All right, Service 3 en route to A17. Copy. And Evan? Yeah? Don't stay out there if it feels wrong. I chuckle. That in the handbook now? Yeah, she says. Page 13. Just go, okay? I kill the office light on my way out. The dark in the yard swallows it like it's hungry. The service truck isn't pretty, but it's heavy. Old Ford, big V8. Front end scarred from years of kissing snowdrifts too hard. I let it idle while I brush off what I can reach, the wind trying to push me back into the building like it knows better. When I pull out onto the county road, the world becomes tunnel and noise. Headlights carve a narrow throat through the snow. Everything beyond that throat is swallowed in white. The wind rushes against the cab in long, low growls that rise and fall like somebody breathing. It's 15 miles to A17. I've driven it 100 times in better weather. Tonight, I have to count the reflective posts as they come past to prove the road's still under me. The wipers squeal, the heater rattles. The radio mutters low, background static from the weather band. Blizzard warning in effect, wind chills exceeding. Then, like someone leaned too close to the mic, another sound crawls in behind the announcer. A thin, wet voice, barely there. Evan. My hands tighten on the wheel. Don't start, I tell myself. Storm does weird things to signal. You know this. The voice comes again, riding the static like foam on a wave. Ev. Ann. Don't. Run. I thumb the knob, kill the radio. The cab falls back into the familiar trio. Engine, heater, wind. My name still seems to hang in the air like breath. It's fine, I tell myself. Crosstalk. Those weird ducting effects you read about but never actually see. Some drunk with a ham radio maybe, sitting in his garage getting his kicks freaking out public service guys. Real funny, I mutter. Miles slide by, slow and slippery. The snow doesn't fall so much as appear, sideways and constant. The road vanishes under a fresh skin between each pass of the plow earlier, and now my tires grind tracks into something that doesn't want to remember the truck was ever here. The world shrinks to the wash of my headlights and the red glow of the dash. Then, through the mess of white ahead, a shape floats up out of the dark. Tall, angular, red eye blinking on and off at its top. Tower A17, siren head and strobe light and steel legs set in concrete. It stands in a shallow bowl of drifted snow, the legs half buried, like it's been trying to walk out of its foundation. Service 3 on scene, I say into dead radio out of habit. Old training sticks, even when the radio's off. The wind drops as I slow. Not fully, but enough that I hear the engines idle clearly. Enough that the factory sound insulation in the doors doesn't have to fight for its life. I pull up within 20 feet of the tower base, angle the truck so the headlights paint the ladder and access box. Snow eddies around the beam, making ghosts of everything. For a long moment I don't move. I watch the red beacon blink at the top, on, off, steady as a heartbeat. The siren itself is quiet. No growl, no test wail. Just the wind slipping through the louvered cones. I tell myself, in and out. Check the box, flip the reset if the board's tripped, verify the power run. 20 minutes and you're back on a county road thinking about leftovers. I grab the mag light, pull up my hood, and open the door. The cold hits like a physical shove. It grabs my breath, pinches my exposed cheeks until they sting. Snow blasts in, tastes like metal and old pennies and exhaust. I step down, boots disappearing past the ankles. The drift's deeper than it looked. Powder up top, packed stuff beneath that grabs at your shins. The wind returns all at once like I offended it by leaving the truck. The tower looms ahead, 3 steel legs disappearing into snow, cross braces latticing up into the murk. I wade to the base, every step a complaint from my knees. The control box is bolted to one leg at chest height, a gray cabinet with a rusted lock that was temporary 2 winters ago. I bang it twice to knock loose the ice. The metal answers with a dull, tired clang. That's when the speaker above me clears its throat. There's a hiss from the siren head, a crackle like someone pressing a mic key half a state away. Then a voice, stretched and thin and wrong, comes sliding down. Help, help. It's not the regular siren tone. Those I could write in my sleep. Steady test, rising wail, steady alert. This is human, but not healthy. It sounds like someone screaming through 6 feet of snow. I take one involuntary step back. The snow clutches my calves. Jamie? I shout, half at the siren, half at the dark. You patching somebody through as a joke because I'm not laughing? No answer. Just the low moan of wind and the little ticking sound cooling metal makes when you've upset it. Get a grip, I tell myself. It's a fault. That's literally your job. I lean in and pop the latch. The cabinet swings open. Inside, the board is frostbitten. White rime coats every wire. The main power feed is snapped clean, like someone bent it until it gave. The backup battery is missing entirely. The breaker's in the off position and rusted there. This whole setup should be stone dead. The siren speaks again. My flashlight beam trembles. Nope, I say, like I can refuse the data. Nope, that's not... Nope. I slam the cabinet closed. The metal rings. Somewhere deep in the structure, the sound travels up and out like a bone conducting a secret. Snow shifts behind me. Not drifting, moving. A long, slow exhale chewing its way through the drifts. I turn. At first, it's just the sense of a darker patch in the white, a place where the snow doesn't reflect my headlights right. Then it rises. Something stands up out of the drift on the other side of the road. Snow falls off its shoulders in slabs. It is too tall. Its arms hang down past where its knees should be, joints bending just a little off-center like they didn't get the blueprint quite right. Its skin is the color of frost-bitten flesh, tight over long bones that haven't decided on their final shape. Its head is a smooth oval, featureless until the wind picks up and packs ice crystals into the hollows. Then, like frost-finding patterns on glass, faint shadows appear where eyes and a mouth should be. It tilts its head, as if considering me. The tower above us crackles. The speaker spits static. Then my name drops out of it, full and clear, in a voice that sounds exactly like my own. Evan, don't run. My stomach drops like someone cut a rope. The thing's chest shifts. For the first time I notice it's moving, vibrating, like there's a motor inside. The siren head mimics the movement. The vibration travels up the steel, into the horn, and my name comes out again. Too loud, too stretched. Evan, don't. Run. For a stupid half-second, obeying seems like the safest thing. Predators chase moving targets, right? You freeze, they lose interest. That's the story we tell ourselves about bears and bills and anything bigger than us. Then something else moves in the drift, to my left, behind the truck, and to my right, at the toe of the ditch. Long shapes, half submerged, shrug free of the snow. More of them. Different heights, different wrongness. One has arms that almost reach the ground. Another's head lolls on a neck too thin to hold it. They all tilt their heads in unison, as if taking direction. "Evan," says the siren, my voice coming back at me from 20 feet up. "Let us in." The closest thing takes one step toward me. Not a lunge. A test. Its foot, or what passes for one, drives into the drift without resistance, like the snow wants it there. I run. I hear my old knees object. The snow objects more. It grabs at my shins, slaps my thighs, tries to tug my boots off on every third step. The wind chooses now to throw itself back into the conversation, shrieking past my ears, trying to erase the distance between me and everything behind me. The truck is a square of dark and chrome ahead, its headlights casting manic shadows. For a moment, I swear I see movement in the cab, someone sitting in my seat, watching. Then I blink and it's empty again, just reflections and my brain picking the worst possible possibilities. Something splashes through the drift behind me with a sound like wet cardboard tearing. The tower voice chases me. "Don't run, don't run." I hit the door, wrench it open and fall inside. Slam, lock, keys. Where are my... There. I twist the key. The engine grinds slow in the cold, then catches with a roar that feels like salvation. I jam the truck into reverse, tires spinning on packed snow before they bite, and we jerk back. Something pale slaps against the driver's side glass. A hand. Long fingers, multi-jointed, pressed flat against the window. The skin looks paper-thin, marbled with faint veins of gray. Frost blooms around its palm, spidering outward. The glass moans. I throw the truck into drive and stomp the gas. The hand slides off with a rubbery squeak. The thing it belongs to disappears into the swirl of snow. I don't stick around to find it again. The road away from the tower is worse than the road to it. The wind has had more time to play. Drifts grapple with the bumper, try to pull us off into the ditch. The headlights are useless beyond 20, 30 feet. Beyond that is a wall of white chaos, flakes screaming past like static. For a while, all I know is the feel of the wheel under my hands and the vague suggestion of ditches on either side. Then, without warning, the truck lurches left. The tires lose purchase. We slide. I crank the wheel right, ease off the gas, do all the things training told me to do. The rear tries to come around anyway. There's that horrible floaty moment where the whole vehicle shrugs and says, "We've done what we can. Gravity's got it now." We smash into a drift. The front end buries itself with a soft, deadly whump. The engine sputters, coughs, dies. The silence that follows feels bigger than the cab. I sit there, gripping the wheel so tight my wrists ache. My heart crawls up into my throat and sits there humming. The wind takes a victory lap around the truck. "Come on," I whisper. "Come on, baby." I try the key. The starter wheezes like an asthmatic and then gives up. Battery's not dead, but it's heading there. Headlights still burn, twin cones into a wall of snow. Beyond them, I can see maybe a hint of fence line, maybe a hint of nothing. The radio, which I'm pretty sure I left off, clicks. Static. Then a voice, not Jamie's, not mine, not anybody's. It sounds like it's being pulled up through ice. "Evan." I stare at it. "You stopped." I don't answer. I don't touch it. The cab shrinks. "Come out," it says gently. "We can't see you. Come out." I grab the mic, thumb the button like muscle memory can save me. "Dispatch, this is Service 3. If you're screwing with me, I swear to God." On the other end, breathing. Slow. Cold. I can hear the way it shapes the frost around it. "Service 3, the voice says, trying the name on. "We need service." Something thumps the rear quarter panel. Not hard, just enough to let me know the truck has company. Another thump. Other side. Snow curls up over the hood, blown from somewhere unseen. A pale shape passes through the headlight beam. Tall, dragging one limb, melting out of sight in a second. Another moves behind it on all fours, too fast, too smooth. They circle. I can't see them, but I can hear them. Soft steps on snow. Soft hands on metal. The truck rocks like a boat nudged from underneath by something big and curious. Don't you open that door, I tell myself, quiet. Doesn't matter what you see. You stay put. You wait them out. The heater fan hiccups, then dies. The air in the cab starts to cool fast. My breath fogs. The fog doesn't disperse right. It curls toward the windshield and sticks there, coating the inside in a thin film. Outside, frost grows back from the spots where my defrost had fought it earlier, creeping over the glass in jagged little ferns. Through that lace, I see it. A face presses lightly against the windshield, or the suggestion of one. Two sockets full of something dark and glittering, a hint of a hole where a mouth might be, all formed out of snow and ice stuck to the glass from the outside. As I watch, the empty sockets swell with a faint, sickly light from within, the glow of the truck's dashboard reflected in a way that makes it look like pupils. The snow face breathes. I see the crystals around the mouth shift inward, then out, like the whole pattern is inhaling me. "Evan," the radio whispers at my elbow. "You're cold." I squeeze my eyes shut. My hands are numb. My feet feel like blocks. It's 20 outside and dropping fast. If I sit, I freeze. If I go, they're waiting. I don't know which scares me more. The face on the windshield drifts sideways, leaving streaks of ice trailing like veins.